Welcome to another gathering of the Gold Key Adventurers Society. Have a seat by the fire as we prepare to help you unlock the secrets of the travel life. From theme park thrills to Purple Mountain's majesty, we want to see it all and do it all, and we want to help you do the same. We all have those bucket list trips, once-in-a-lifetime destinations that we'll get to someday. We're here to help you make your travel dreams a reality. Buy the ticket, take the trip. Where do you want to go?
Come on, come on, come on, now tell me what's on your bucket list. Okay, hey, okay, hey. It's a beautiful day. Okay, hey, okay, hey. It's a beautiful day.
Hey, you're back! So are Heather, Jeff, and Dave to help me share the week's travel news. Then we're going to argue about over and underrated theme park attractions. Oh, and don't forget the Disney Do-Over contest. Fire up your opinions and practice saying, well, actually, it's time to hit the trail with the Gold Key Adventurers Society. It's been a week since our ship sank, and we found ourselves washed up on this desert island. Our food supply is running low, and we're starting to go that special kind of desert island crazy where everyone starts to look like a giant walking ham or apple pie, like something out of a Bugs Bunny cartoon. While out searching for something to eat, we stumble upon a magic lamp conveniently sticking half out of the sand. Obviously, we give it a rub, releasing the genie within. Now, this isn't the friendly blue type of genie. It's the tricksy type who will grant your wish in the worst way possible. Without thinking, I blurt out, I sure wish we were at Disney World right now. The genie nods and sends us flying, but we all end up as animatronics in Walt Disney World attractions. So it's time to make the best of a bad situation. Which animatronic figure would you want to be, and why?
Ooh, good question.
I'll go first to give you a second to think. I want to be in Splash Mountain. There's a frog who's using an alligator for for a hammock. And I'll be that guy because he looks really cozy and I like the song. So
that's a good one.
I could live with hearing that song for all eternity.
I want to be the blue woman at the end of the Navi River ride because yoga is good for me and I love to sing.
Would you like to sing a few bars for us right now, Jeff?
No, not right now. I'm not warmed
of the
up.
Navi song in the Navi language, please.
I don't even recall it. I'd have to learn it.
I want to be DJ Rex so that I can live in Oga's Cantina.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Good. I'm going to be president number 47 in the Hall of Presidents.
Yes.
Because that's only open 9 to 5, and then I'm done for the day.
Why? My question is, why not 46?
I'd rather not.
But then you'd look really good in comparison.
I like it. I'll allow it.
Well, it's time for the news. Who wants to go first?
Oh, Heather beat me to it.
I'll go first. So my favorite story that I found this week on travelandleisure.com is that tourists in Chiang Mai are paying people to scare pigeons so that they can get the perfect Instagram shot. Like, this is a real thing. So,
is this a union job?
Right? So according to this article, there's a famous gate called the Taipei Gate, and it's well known for flocks of pigeons hanging around on the sidewalks. And so lately, people have been paying what they're calling pigeon spookers to scare the pigeons at just the right moment so they could get the perfect shot for Instagram. However, it's illegal because they consider the birds to be kind of a nuisance and a public health risk because, you know, there's always the chance that if a flock of pigeons flies at you, you're going to get pooped on, right?
Odds are.
So if they get caught, they're being arrested for doing this. And they're only paying these people 20 baht, which is about 65 cents. And it says that they stomp around and wave flags to get the pigeons flying. And some of these pictures actually they're pretty good. There are some perfect Instagram shots on here.
I think it'd be more interesting to look at the people scaring away the pigeons.
Yeah, those are good
Oh,
pictures.
yeah,
those
that's
are the
true.
pictures you want.
The people waving the flags and jumping up and down to scare the pigeons.
Now, is scaring them away yourself such a chore that people need to pay for this service?
This is a very excellent question.
So are they placing the
Or is
pigeons
it-
in the backgrounds? That's the idea, and then they're spooking them in the background, so it looks like you're raising the pigeons.
Yeah,
Oh, like
exactly.
a John Woo film.
Yeah.
It's like a John Woo film.
Yes. It says they also will supply bags of birdseed to attract the pigeons first, to get them all
Well,
surrounding
that's just good
you.
business.
And then they jump around and scare them off. You know, anything for the perfect Instagram photo.
Maybe it's like there's a state or maybe a couple of states here where you're not allowed to pump your own gas. Maybe it's like that. You're not allowed to scare your own bird. So it's a service you have to pay for.
I like that idea.
Safety concerns.
Yes. We had a similar thing happen when the last time we were at Notre Dame in Paris. There was a guy you could pay. It was much more than 65 cents. I think it was like €5. And he would spread birdseed all over you, get the pigeons to land on you, and then take a photo. You just,
Was it extra if they poop on your head?
yes, that's an extra
Ah.
euro. Hmm.
That's a value added.
Right.
That's the French conditioner.
My question is, who is traveling all the way to Paris to
Get
to
pooped
look
on?
like the lady from Home Alone 2?
Heather Straight.
Actually, probably my
Apparently.
son. He does
You can do
travel
that
with
in New York City.
birdseed. He travels with birdseed to feed the pigeons. This is a true story.
Can't you do it cheaper in New York City?
Probably.
Can you do anything cheaper in New York?
Do they have
Ooh.
a flock of seagulls?
And I ran.
It was
Oh,
only
I knew
matter
we'd
of
get
time.
Jeff singing this week.
There you
There it
go.
is.
I
Yay!
saved that one.
All right, let's hear some theme park news.
Jeff, how about you sing the next news story?
Ooh.
And in theme park news, we've got a thing that's happening at Disneyland.
It's groovy.
That was pretty
That's
good.
about as much as I'm willing to do. Thank you. This week, Disneyland has debuted 5 new menu items in Star Wars Town, USA. Oga's Cantina will now serve a Hapabor sampler,
Ooh.
which features a selection of cured meats, artisan cheeses, pickled and preserved rations, and crackers. That's rations, not rashes.
That's Disney World.
Which that's like a space charcuterie board, I believe. And Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo will now have a garden patty bun kids meal featuring a meatless patty on a bao bun, roasted carrots, house sauce, and an orange.
House sauce? Huh.
Yes, it's made with bits of real house.
Excellent. A vegan burger with house sauce.
Is that where the
Sounds
British
delicious.
went from Magic Kingdom?
Oh, maybe.
That's right. I think so. And Ronto Roasters now has a meatless garden wrap featuring plant-based sausage,
Wow.
spicy kimchi slaw, sweet pickled cucumber, and guajing spread wrapped in a pita and served with Kyril pork rinds with cinnamon sugar.
Wait a second.
Are
It's a
those fake
ve-
pork rinds?
I was just going to say, is it a vegan sausage with real pork rinds? Because
Sounds like it's vegan pork rinds.
Oh, you know what? That's a separate dish. The Kyril
Okay.
Kyril pork rinds are just a snack.
I was like, that's not
phew.
good.
It's served. Oh, this one is, served in a repair droid souvenir vessel.
Oh.
And Kat Sokka's kettle has a chocolate popcorn with crate red salt. Whatever
sounds
that is.
good.
Yeah.
That's like
And
the
in
stuff that looks so cool at the end of episode 8. When they
Oh, you're
the
right.
space
Yeah,
battle.
when they're stirring up the
Oh,
red underneath the
yeah.
Underneath
that
the-
scene is
yes.
that scene is so cool and it's just simply there for aesthetics.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah, but
Disneyland
thank
to
God.
try that,
Yeah, let's go now.
but not the meatless things.
And in other Star Wars Galaxy's Edge nude, Oga's Cantina, Savvy's Workshop, and the Droid Depot are now offering advanced reservations for up to 60 days prior
At Disneyland.
at Disneyland.
Got it.
Has this started to pick up there? Is that why?
Maybe it's not. It could either. Who knows? That could mean one of two things.
Well, all of the annual pass holders are no longer blocked out, so I bet they are getting more crowds out there now.
I think there are crowds. It's just not the overwhelming crush that everybody thought and Disney probably
That's
wanted.
because who
Not what
wants
they
to
were
go to Batu?
expecting.
Yeah,
Well,
but
just-
honestly, if
I
I'm
mean-
going to go and enjoy the land, I don't want a crush of people, so
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I'm kind of happy about it.
It's still just wait until Rise of the Resistance
Yeah,
opens.
that's when the crowds are going to be back.
The last puzzle piece.
Hmm.
I think so.
People need more than a bunch of paid
You know, I hear that constantly. There's not much to do other than shopping or paying for food and whatnot, but that's kind of the trend with all of the new theme park lands. At Harry Potter, Diagon Alley, there's one ride and a bunch of things you can buy or buy to eat
Yeah.
or whatever. There's not
yeah,
a lot to
that's true.
actually do. You can walk around
Yeah.
with your wand and do
Which
that
you had
stuff.
to buy.
But you still have to buy the wand.
Correct.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't think they're going to open a land with like 8 different rides ever again.
Not at
Yeah,
first.
No, those
That doesn't seem to be the trend at all.
I hope there would be room to expand to have more rides, but we shall see.
Well, once they knock Star Tours down and take over that part of the park.
Oh, Dave.
right.
Listen,
Dave.
it doesn't fit the narrative, man.
Once they turn
I
Epcot into
know.
an all Star Wars park, they can do whatever they want. With
Uh-oh.
Spaceship Earth being the Death Star,
Trigger alert. Oh, how killer would that be, though?
that might make Epcot tolerable.
Yeah.
I
I would
haven't
go
said
to
a
that
single
park.
thing about Epcot yet, so this is all Jeff.
Yeah,
He's just trying to get a rise out of you.
that's right.
Oh.
Okay, I have two related stories that I want to jump on before Heather steals them from me. And these are going to, I think that we're after last episode and this episode, we're going to have to start a new segment on the news, a mini show within a show. This is our weird vacation rentals of the week.
Yes, I love it.
Wow.
I've got 2 of them. The first one was sent to me by, actually found by my lovely wife. So shout out to Kendra. Thank you for finding this one. The Jim Beam Distillery is renting out a house on the distillery grounds. This is on delish.com. So they announced on Tuesday that it's opening up a rental property on the grounds in Kentucky. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms,
Ooh.
fully stocked bar, backyard, fire pits, and fishing docks. Here's the best part about this place. The price per night is the price of a single bottle of Jim Beam Black.
Wow.
So it's $23 a night. Yeah.
Huh.
Wow. For a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house?
Yeah.
And a fully
limited,
stocked
it's
bar?
an- Yeah.
Wow.
It comes with
Sold.
you get all that, and it includes a distillery tour and a bourbon tasting.
and all
the
the
barbecue.
bourbon you can drink?
All right, so
Yeah,
KeyCon
apparently
2021.
at the right, $23
Yes.
a night, limited nights available through the end of the year, and you can find it on Airbnb.
Huh. Wow.
That's going to
Yeah.
be like a lottery to win one of those.
No kidding.
Yeah. Dave's firing up the. There you go.
Dave already
I
has
mean,
his
it's-
reservation. We'll be joining him.
I mean, it's a cute little house. It's a whole house that you get. So, I mean, it looks pretty nice. And then the other location, this one's a little bit more. This one's a little bit more extravagant, and this is going to be a real lottery. It's only available for a single 2-night stay at the end of this month, October 27th to 29th, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Barbie.
Oh,
You can
no.
stay in Barbie's
Nice.
real life Malibu dream house.
Oh, yeah, I
Available
saw that.
on Airbnb. The place is pink from stem to stern, covered with Barbie branding all over the place.
So am I.
Wow.
I see a picture of a soaking tub full of pink and white balls, like from a ball pit for some reason.
Okay.
It's very pink, very Barbie, but it also comes with you get some cool experiences to kind of accentuate the girl power message that apparently Barbie is peddling these days. You get makeovers and fencing lessons.
Fencing?
as well as a meet and greet with celebrity hairstylist Jen Atkin, a cooking lesson with Gina Clark-Helm of Malibu's Seaside Chef, and a tour of the Columbia Memorial Space Center with aerospace engineer Jill Myers.
I see what they're doing there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty
cool.
cool. How much is it a night?
Yeah.
It does not list a price. This is on travelandleisure.com.
Sounds expensive.
Oh, here it is. House sleeps 4 with 2 beds, 2 baths, $60 a night.
$60.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But does it come
And,
with
I would
unlimited
pay
bourbon?
70.
No unlimited bourbon, but you do have
Rats.
access to Barbie's wardrobe, apparently.
Okay. That's
don't-
fair.
So as long as you fit those weird dimensions
I
of
don't think the
hers,
heels are going to fit very
you're
well.
set.
I'd love to
Especially
see
when
you
you're
try those
fencing.
on, though.
Fencing in Barbie heels.
Fencing and heels. What every girl
Dave,
wants.
put those Barbie heels on for me.
Not for $60 a night.
For the whole night.
That's cheap, man.
I don't ever get lucky
So
enough to
I-
win these things.
So I have a story from the Los Angeles Times about human guinea pigs who are preparing for the world's longest direct flight. Qantas is about to test a direct flight from New York to Sydney. No airline has ever done this route without stopping, and it's a 20-hour direct flight.
No, thank you.
20 hours. So they will be including medical researchers and scientists in the cabin during this flight. They're using the Boeing Dreamliner, which has a lot of features that they say ease jet lag. They have those cool windows that can set the light in the cabin. It's better. It has better humidity, so you're not as dried out. But they're going to be testing not only the pilots, seeing the pilots sleep and their brain function during this 20-hour flight as they rotate on and off their shift. They're also going to be monitoring the passengers, and it says that they are going to look at some other drug-based things that can help combat jet lag, like melatonin and Xanax.
Included in the price of the ticket.
Included in the price of the ticket. Yeah.
Melatonin is a drug
Yeah.
of the gods.
Melatonin and Xanax? Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah. So this flight is going to be taking place later this month, and if all goes well, they plan to start running this nonstop flight between New York and Sydney, and then possibly from other airports around the world, like London to Sydney. And hopefully, they're hoping that it increases tourism from this side of the world to Australia. But it's also intended for business travelers who have to make that flight.
I think I'd do that as long as I'm not in the middle seat on a Southwest Airlines plane.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like that's the only
On
restrictions.
Frontier in a lawn
What's the
chair.
longest flight you've ever done?
Yeah. with from Pittsburgh to LA. So what is that?
Not too bad.
6 hours. So that's probably the 5
Is
hours.
this-
Yeah. It was direct. So
Is this plane going to have normal seats as well as like the lay down?
Mm-hmm.
Great
Yeah,
kind of
it
seat?
does.
Is there
The
Wi-Fi?
Dreamliner has.
Maybe they'll have those brand new ones that you straddle and stand up.
Oh no! For 20 hours. Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
Dreamliner
it's like you're
does
riding a
have,
Peloton bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dreamliner does have regular coach seats in the back. I've heard that they are a little more comfortable than your typical coach seat, but not all of them are the lie flat like business and first class.
how long did it take you guys to get to Paris when you guys did that ABD last year?
The flight to Paris is from Detroit to Paris is about 8 hours. Yeah, the longest
A little shorter coming back.
Right. So the longest flight I've ever done.
And it was a bigger plane,
it
right?
usually is a bigger plane. Yeah. The longest flight
I
I've
don't
ever
know. I
done
only
was
saw the very front part of that plane.
touche. The longest flight I have ever done was Chicago to Honolulu, and that was about 9 hours. That's part of why I haven't visited Asia yet. Yeah. That's can you imagine?
I can't go 11 more hours.
I don't know. I mean, if you can get up and walk around, I mean, the Southwest flight I took was direct, and I didn't move the whole time. And by the end of it, I was ready to.
Chew your
Lose
way
it,
off the
but-
plane.
I mean, if you right, yeah, go JetBlue evacuation guy again. Pull
Yes.
the thing and slide down the.
Yeah, screw you guys. I'm going home.
But I don't know. 20 hours on a big plane like that where you can move around.
Yeah, I would just go into the
I'd
bar
do it.
car.
I was gonna say if it's like that Emirates plane that Jennifer Aniston likes to hang out on with like
Yeah.
that seems like a pretty
Yeah,
swanky
that
way-
seems
swanky way to
affordable.
fly.
I'd hang out with Jennifer
Our-
Aniston for 20 hours.
Our last trip to Orlando, we saw a Virgin airline plane, and that thing was a double decker looking. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. And those have bars up top, I think, like the
Yeah,
old.
if you're flying business or
1970s
first
ones.
class.
Yeah. That's
And
how I do.
I'm not a mechanic or
Same.
aerosmith engineer by any way, but do those
Aerosmith.
planes have yeah, whatever. I'm not that
Aerospace, is
either.
that the word you're looking for?
Aerospace. You know what?
Dave likes to
I knew
fly
what I
this
meant, and
way.
that's all that matters.
You know what? Let's get tickets for everybody.
You know what? Never mind. I'm done with you guys.
See you later, Dave.
What were you gonna say, Dave?
But those bigger planes, you don't feel the turbulence as much, right? Like, the bigger the plane, the less the turbulence
not
you
quite
feel.
as
so there's
much. I mean,
more-
you still
or no,
feel it,
or that's
but
made
yeah.
up.
Dave, it's not the size of the plane,
yeah.
it's the motion of the air.
Yeah. It's not like a cruise ship.
All right, all done. I'm good. Seriously though, those backstage passes are those available or get a stretch limo?
Make it a super stretch.
I was going to ask Jeff to save us from this idiocy, but
From this rabbit hole
I
we've
made it
gone
worse,
down.
but I made it
I've
worse.
never saved anyone from idiocy. Well, in other theme park news, back to reality, there are a couple of things out of Universal Orlando this week. They announced their first ever Epic Character Race, which will be a 5 and 10K races for ages 5 and up. These are on February 1st and 2nd of 2020. Runners will get the opportunity to race through the heart of Universal Orlando parks, surrounded by pop culture's most beloved characters.
They're getting in on the Run Disney type thing.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about time.
I'm just wondering if Betty Boop and Marilyn Monroe are going to be quite the draw as, rare Disney characters.
What kind of top are they wearing?
Well, they even in their write-up about it called their new medal that they're giving out Instagram worthy. So
Oh. Well, and
they know
people
that
pay.
some people sign up for these things,
Yeah.
spend a bunch of money, and then they just walk and get their picture taken with different characters.
All they
and
want
post it on
is
social media.
the bling, as they
Yeah,
call
they're
it.
there for the bling. But it seems fairly affordable. I'm not sure what the Run Disney ones cost, but this one, early registration starts at just $72 per runner. And they have multiple upgraded tiers available, including options for exclusive character meet and greets and a post-run breakfast and admission to the parks. all
Oh,
included.
nice. Yeah, the
For 72
Run
bucks?
Disney is a 5K.
Well, it starts at 72, and those are add-ons, but 72 for registration seems okay.
I have a client going to Disney next year, and it was more than $72 just for the 5K.
Yeah, the
So-
5Ks are usually about $90 to $100 just for the 5K, and it's
The
more expensive
virtual
for
5Ks are like $90.
Mhm, yeah, the 10K.
Yeah, I haven't
Those
seen
medals
the-
are pretty cool too.
the 10K and the
I haven't seen
marathons
all
are
of
more.
the pricing yet on that, but it just says it starts at $72. So we'll see when that happens.
So the four of us are going to run it next year, then, is what we're saying.
Definitely.
I mean,
yeah,
I'll walk it and get my picture taken with a minion or two.
yeah.
And also out of Universal Orlando Resort announced this week a new live-action stunt show based on the Bourne series of films is coming out. It will start in Universal Studios, Florida in spring of 2020.
Is Bourne still a hot commodity?
They're still doing those movies. When was the most
they?
recent one? Like maybe a year or two ago?
Yeah, they did that.
Matt Damon's back, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did he go?
they did the one with Jeremy Renner, and then they went back to Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, Jeremy Renner, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Totally.
think it sounds like Dave is a fan.
I'm just Matt Damon.
I love the Bourne movies, I
Yeah.
like a stunt show, so I'll go.
Yeah, no, they're all good.
I assume they're going to do it in that.
The second one was a little bit. I didn't see it since the second one, but the first two were pretty decent.
That's one that I had a hard time forgiving for not being like the books. So I kind of just.
Ah.
Oh well, I can't
Purist.
read, so I wasn't even aware those were books.
Yeah.
Well, you are from Alabama.
Touche, or touchy, as I would say, being from Alabama.
It's another week, and we've alienated another segment of our fan base.
Check that off
I've got
the
bad
list.
news, guys. Alabama's was sitting at number 3 for our downloads.
Uh-oh.
It's going to take a
Wrong.
sharp
We're in
plunge, I
trouble.
think.
We're going to have to win them back.
They're really holding this show together.
So we're saying a live show at Jeff's house.
Yes.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, they could listen to this podcast instead of reading.
There you go.
Nerds.
It's just as informative and sometimes as entertaining.
Just wait for the movie.
So anyway, that Bourne stunt show, is it replacing? Didn't they just get rid of some stunt show that was like Sinbad or something?
I'm assuming that they're putting it in where that animal,
animal
not the animal.
actors?
Yeah, they had animal actors, and there was the
Fear Factor?
in that stadium. Fear Factor, yeah, that's only run intermittently. So I guess this would replace Fear Factor in that big stadium. It's back there by Men in Black.
Yeah.
They say it's starting in spring of 2020. No detail on the exact start date. And they call it Through a Cutting Edge Fusion of Stagecraft and Film. You'll follow our hero Jason Bourne across 3 continents as sinister characters pursue him, hoping to bring him in. The show will use live performers, high-tech props, and an immense LED screen, making it impossible to discern where the live action ends and the cinema begins.
Ooh.
I'm going to call BS on that, though.
Fancy.
That's got to be the best screen in the world if I can't tell that he's not,
Yeah. Well,
what? He's not in Paris right now?
It
What?
can't be as realistic as Mickey and the Magical Map out at Disneyland.
Snap. You went there.
Oh, I went there. So that's exciting. I'll take that over Fear Factor,
Oh,
where
yeah.
you
I love a
watch 3
stunt show.
guys eat dog poop or whatever that show was. I'm not sure.
Hey,
Somebody
like
covered
hang off of a car
Someone
in midair,
getting
I
covered
think.
with spiders. Ugh.
Those were deviled eggs, not dog poop. But I can see how you can confuse them.
That's all the deets I got on that story.
Okay, so Dave, you might be able to take advantage of this one from travelandleisure.com. The Pittsburgh airport is auctioning off items from its lost and found.
Okay.
Apparently, it's this Saturday.
Oh,
Sorry, Dave.
Dave's out of town.
They've got a huge backlog of items in their lost and found that they want to get rid of. So apparently they do it every year. They've got 15 abandoned vehicles that are going to go up for sale,
What?
including a 2015 Dodge Ram, a
Nice.
2002 Chrysler Town and Country. There will be more. In addition to those, there will be more than 10,000 items from the lost and found. Anything left unclaimed for at least 30 days is up for sale, including 1,000 pieces of jewelry, 500 electronics, and an assortment of other goods.
I wonder if one of them is Jeff's 360 camera that he left behind at a TSA checkpoint.
Yeah, that they never found in air quotes.
Never found.
Mhm.
Among the more quirky items on the auction block include a Keurig, scuba gear, and a Kurt Cobain record.
Oh,
There are also
Wait, what is this? The lost and found of? I missed
the
that.
Pittsburgh airport.
Huh.
Apparently.
and apparently they have cars.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
Yeah.
people just don't want to pay the parking, so they just leave the car, I mean, whatever.
If they're LeBaron there in the
Are they
parking lot.
fleeing the law? Why did they leave the car
Yeah,
behind?
I think they're probably stolen or somehow crime.
There's some
related.
crime
How
involved.
do I get the keys for those cars?
Something shady happened there. You have to start it with a screwdriver, but you can get it at a low price.
Let's talk about the electronics for a second. You can't tell me those aren't locked. Apple, someone remote locked their iPad. You're going to buy it for $100 and then not be able to use it.
Fair
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Well, and just in case you were interested in learning Vietnamese, there will also be a 5-pound, 2,500-page English to Vietnamese dictionary available for sale. That's probably a hot item.
£5 dictionary.
Why did somebody weigh that book?
Exactly. Thank you.
I'm waiting for the 6-pound edition.
That is weird. That is some weird detail.
Like, how did the book
Yeah.
get back?
Probably somebody was 5 pounds over and they didn't want to pay the upcharge. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what? What
that's
can I
totally
afford
it,
to
yeah.
lose? I'm never using this. So hurry out to Pittsburgh and take
I'm
advantage.
going to go straight there.
Heather, do you have any more news?
No, that's all I got for this week.
That's all you got? Jeff, anything else?
Well, there's just one more thing that happened this week. Thought we could discuss a little bit. The Skyliner, Disney Skyliner at Walt Disney World is now back open and running.
Just in time.
After a little over a week's closure due to an incident on October 5th. And Disney released the following statement. Following a complete review with the manufacturer, we've made adjustments to our processes and training, and we're now improving how we communicate with guests during their flight with Disney Skyliner. We again offer our deepest apologies to the guests impacted by the malfunction that resulted in extended operating delays on October 5th.
I'm writing I'm writing it tomorrow.
I'll write it too.
Yeah, it's worth it. And
I'm
if you get stuck
yeah.
up there for 3 hours, you get free stuff.
I would say go
Absolutely.
potty before you get on.
Oh, yeah, definitely pee
I
first.
am going to do that, definitely. I don't need to use the poo corner.
I didn't know Winnie the Pooh was on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned about it at all. Disney is, safety is their number one priority, and whatever happened, they've figured it out, and I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, let's be honest. This is
I'm heading straight there tomorrow when I get there. I'll tell you how it goes.
good. It's a brand new thing. I mean, I would have been shocked if something didn't go wrong.
I may be eating my words next week if I have to zip line out of it, but we'll see.
The monorail breaks down every day, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Or eating the rations they put under your seat in the
Yes.
Skyliner when you're in there for a week and a half.
Packets of water, the Ziploc bags of water. I'm not worried. I'm excited.
So I'm glad that's back open, and it was only a week and 2 days or something that it was closed. Not bad.
People were starting to get concerned that it was indefinitely closed, and they were
Grand opening?
not saying a thing.
Grand closing.
Yes.
Hey, at least they made sure that their contingency plans actually worked.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll
That's
be
true.
adjusting those
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Did they
Yeah,
end up
for
actually
sure.
having to rescue people, or did they just get it back running?
No, they did. They did evacuate people.
Yeah.
They did not have to go to their absolute last resort of ziplining people out of them. They do have specialized equipment. It's kind of like a bucket
I would
truck
do that.
with I
it was a
absolutely
cherry
would
picker.
too, right? Yeah. They have a bucket truck that it really it's essentially like a staircase, and they even have one that goes out over the water. So no one had to zip line out of it, but they did evacuate people from that line.
When you're over Caribbean Beach, it's pretty far up there. So, I mean, that would be probably the only spot I wouldn't want to do it. That and over Speedway. Like, I just wouldn't like it.
I think the majority of people just waited it out for 3+ hours till they were able to get it back on. But there were a few that were stuck on the actual line, I guess, that had the tangled cars on it, and they had to get them off of there with the vehicles.
Yeah. I saw some pictures of the evacuation, and it really looked like no big deal.
When it was shut down, was it the whole system, or did they just shut down the line that was damaged?
They shut down the whole system when it happened.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Because they just wanted to be safe. They wanted to be sure. They figured out what happened and that it wasn't going to happen on the other line as well. But it's back up and running. I'm riding it tomorrow. I'll Facebook Live from it.
Make sure you do all the legs. It's worth it. Do it at daytime
Absolutely.
and do it during the night.
Got it. Yes,
Really, you're gonna
Dave.
spend your whole trip just riding the Skyliner.
I'm just going to ride the Skyliner all weekend. Who cares about any of
If
the
I'm
rest of that stuff?
seated and it's not hot, I'll do that.
Yeah.
No.
Even when it's hot, it doesn't feel that bad. I mean, the wind gets moving through there.
Well,
When it's moving.
No, I mean not
I'll
hot
be
in
the
there.
judge of that,
I'll stay in
Dave.
there.
Oh, my bad.
All right. I expect a full report tomorrow afternoon.
you got it
300 words by the end of the day.
on your desk.
Someone get me a desk.
Okay. I think that does it for the news segment. So we're going to head on over for a word from our sponsor. And when we come back, we're going to argue about which theme park attractions we think are criminally overrated and which deserve a little more love than they currently get. We'll catch you on the other side. When it comes to planning your next adventure, knowledge and preparation are always key. That's why a call to your Key to the World Travel Vacation Planner should always be at the top of your to-do list when you feel the urge to venture forth and explore the world. Key to the World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, specializing in travel to Disney theme parks around the world, as well as Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, and Adventures by Disney. With over 450 travel advisors who share a deep love for Disney destinations, Key to the World Travel has a wealth of knowledge and passion to help you experience all the magic with none of the work. Wherever your wanderlust is driving you, Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency with the expertise to get you where you want to go. So whether you're headed to Universal Studios, Hawaii, Europe, or somewhere a little farther off the beaten track, your first step should always be to visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a no-obligation quote. Their expert travel planners are standing by to help you with every detail of your perfect vacation. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com or at Key to the World Travel on Facebook. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. We're camping in the North Woods and we find ourselves surrounded by a pack of wolves. Dave grabs the burning branch from the fire to use as a torch to fend off the hungry beasts, but the fire is starting to burn down and the pack is closing in. I look around, assessing the situation, and say, okay, fine. I'm not sure why we have to talk about this right now. It really doesn't seem like the best timing, but let's get into it. What theme park attractions do you think are totally overrated, and which deserve more love than they currently get?
For underrated, I'd have to say Country Bear Jamboree.
I have to agree with you. That is probably one of the most underrated ones in all of Magic Kingdom.
I agree. I don't understand why.
Absolutely. I mean, where else can you hear Blood on the Saddle?
As sung by a bear.
All the guys that turned me on turned me down. Like that.
That one is the best one. Yes.
That was a good pull,
Yeah.
Dave.
That song has been stuck on my head all day, so it's really just been.
Obviously,
Obviously,
it's right on top of the
I
dome.
love the one about "Don't Beat Baby Buford." That's my favorite.
What? How's that one go again?
Yeah,
Don't
Shoot
beat
'em.
Baby Buford or something like that.
Sing it.
Not it.
Somebody sing it for us. Come on.
Mama, don't whoop
Oh.
little Buford.
There it is.
Don't hit him
That's what it
upside
was,
his
yeah.
head.
It's been a while since I've seen that. My family hates that attraction.
You should
They're
probably
wrong.
get a
Mine
new
I love
too. And they are 100% wrong. I'm thinking about it. Yeah. I do make them go in there with me, and usually
Plus,
one or
it's
two
a nice
of them will
break
humor
from
me.
the sun during
Yeah.
July through.
It's air conditioned.
Yeah, they took it out of Disneyland for Winnie the Pooh.
That was-
I
that
mean,
was a
come
mistake.
on.
That's like going to Epcot.
The only complaint
Big mistake.
my only complaint is it's not long enough. They cut a whole bunch of songs out of it at some point.
Which songs did they cut out, Dan?
I don't know. All I know is I wish it went on for another at least 4 or 5 minutes.
10, 20 minutes.
Plus, it drops you right in Peso Bill once it's done, so you can
Pecos
watch shows,
Bills,
get
yeah.
something to eat.
Peso Bill is my favorite.
That's what I said.
That used to be. What was the mile long bar, and the
Yes, we've discussed that they took out the toppings bar where you used to be able to
before
make yourself
Nice.
a poor man's salad.
before that they had like a bar and the buffalo and stuff would talk to you on the other side too.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, cool.
I was thinking of the toppings bar at Pecos Bill's where I would go to exfoliate my hands.
With the nacho cheese,
That's right.
the hot cheese.
Hot cheese. Who's got something else?
All right, overrated. I'm throwing this out there, and people are probably not going to like me for it, but I think that the Osborne Family Lights was way overrated.
Yeah, it's hindsight. Everything that's gone, everyone slobbers all over.
You know, it was always so crowded in there that you couldn't move, and it was.
Mhm.
I wanted to fight you.
You wanted to fight me over this one? Did you love it?
I did, but now I think no. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong.
Well, and it was a dead end there
Yes.
too. So it was just bottleneck and then dead end where everybody tried to turn back around. It was nice to see, but
I mean,
Meh.
some cool Christmas lights. I can go see those in my own town.
Yeah, but once you saw it once, did you really need to go back and see it again? I mean, it's kind of like a one and done thing. They didn't change it.
Some people did, and they were awfully angry.
So angry.
speaking of hindsight being the favorite thing, the Great Movie Ride was nobody's favorite ride until they announced they were removing
I
it.
100% agree.
Like, you could walk on that ride any day of any week.
Bad acting.
And I like it just fine. It was, but the animatronics in there were terrible. I love Mary Poppins, but the animatronics in there look like a mannequin.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
It is a shame to lose the Wicked Witch animatronic.
Yeah, she was
She was like
pretty
the
cool.
top of the line.
We could
The
find a
sets
new
were
place for her.
the sets were cool. I love all the movies that were in there, but I'm happy to see the new.
Yeah, and I did enjoy.
Mouse
Yeah, I
attraction
did
come in.
enjoy the ride, but I agree. I think it was overrated, and I don't know if you know this, but I love Mickey Mouse, so I am super excited for a Mickey
I had
Mouse
no idea.
attraction. Yeah, Mickey the Mouse. He's my BFF.
I think another one that's underrated, and this is just as of a kind of revisiting it, is Jungle Cruise. I really think if you get the right skipper,
Yeah.
Yes,
that makes it.
100%.
You know, you've seen the video going around the skipper who scaring the hippos away by asking for a relationship. Like that kind of stuff is funny, right? Like, have you seen that? Have you guys seen that video?
Yes.
Like,
I have. Yeah.
See,
No,
here's the
I have
problem.
to
yeah,
look
we
for
had
that.
one.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
No,
Oh,
go
I was
ahead.
I've never gotten one of those skippers. I've never gotten. I love what that ride could be, but I've never gotten one that doesn't just fly through it.
Oh, that is
We
a
had-
shame.
Our last one just a couple weeks ago was cracking all kinds of jokes. I mean, they were bad jokes, but they were bad on purpose,
Right, as it should
And
be.
it was just it made it.
Yeah.
It made
Yeah,
it
that's the
worth
point
it.
of that ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
The last time I rode it, it was a really bad skipper, and she was just like it was like she was reading off a cue card she'd
Mhm.
never seen before.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
that's my
Sad.
only
Very
experience.
stiff, not good. But generally speaking, I get
And we
really
normally
good
skip
ones.
that ride.
But I don't
we
ride it that
usually
often.
skip that, and because if you have that one bad skipper or just that one experience doesn't blow you away. But since then, that's one of those ones I kind of want to go back just to get on that.
I keep on getting
Yeah.
on it, hoping for.
Keep giving it keep trying, keep riding it until you get a great skipper. It's worth
Oh,
it.
You know, you'll know at
Who's
the
ready
beginning.
to see that movie
Right,
too?
Yeah, well, The Rock's in it, so it'll be there.
Mm,
Yeah.
dreamy.
Yeah, he's going to be
I'm
hilarious.
going to keep riding it until The Rock is my skipper.
Well, good luck with that. Although he did do that at Disneyland
I
around the
know.
time they
If
announced
Johnny
they were
Depp-
doing
Mhm.
it. A bunch
If
of people
Johnny
got
Depp can
to.
be Pirates of the Caribbean, The Rock can come do the Jungle Cruise for one tour.
Absolutely.
You're right about that. Another underrated one for me is It's Tough to Be a Bug at Animal Kingdom.
Never done it.
Really?
I love it. And that's one of those that everybody thinks you can skip or whatever. It's just a show. Don't worry about it. But I love it. The show is good. I like the interactive part of it. And if nothing else, I'm there for watching the kids wet themselves when
Yes.
when the grasshoppers attack and
Attack, yeah.
pandemonium starts.
And
And the
you-
place just goes nuts with screaming, crying
You
children,
get
and nothing
you
makes
get
me happier.
Stung by a bee.
Oh, yeah, it's great. The first timers in there are just losing it.
I've never seen it, but I love the version of. Is it "Can You Feel the Love Tonight"? Performed all by buzzing. Oh, the bug sounds.
Oh, no. On the hold music.
I will say that I don't love hearing that music outside the attraction. I'm okay with it
No.
when I'm watching the show. But yes, there is a phone line that uses that music for its hold music. And
That's really
It's not
just
good.
the as you're filing into the theater, the music they play in there. It doesn't not featured too prominently
I have
in
no
the
interest
actual
in it.
show.
you get
You've never watched
You
that
haven't
one,
seen that
Dan?
one
You
either?
should go.
oh
Take your young impressionable children
yes,
in there
please.
and tell them it's very
Oh,
calm,
good.
nothing to fear.
And then
Get their guard down, and then let me go with you.
You get
Mhm. Hopper's not going to attack
Yeah.
at all.
You get farted on by stink bugs. It's amazing.
That's everything
so
I
I
want out of
claim.
it.
Ah, it's actually Jeff.
So another
Yes.
overrated one, and you might get a little flack for this, but Test Track I think is way overrated.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, no,
Because it's at Epcot?
no, partially.
because it's
But-
not exciting.
Yeah, I mean, really, and I didn't think and I'm the same way with Radiator Springs Racers. Like I think both are just way overblown.
I'll fight you on that
Yeah,
oh,
one.
really?
I'll fight you on that
I
one.
was
I will
not.
too.
I
I'll
was
fight
not
you.
I
blown
love
away.
Radiator
It was
Springs
basically Test
Racers.
Track, but with cars. That's all it was.
But Dave, where else besides on Test Track can you go in a circle at nearly
Well,
50
my wife
miles an
drives
hour?
in the winter, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Test Track's okay. It's fun, but I wouldn't wait longer than
No, and especially with this
15 minutes for
new version of it, I think stinks.
And they put you in
Tron
the queue,
track.
right? And they want you to build a car, but they put 4 people or 3 people on the same number. So it's not like you can each build your own car. You have one car to build for the 3 of you. So when you're doing the race, you might have 2 cars, might have 3 cars.
You end up
Yeah, and
letting
they
the
build
kid
terrible
build
cars.
the car.
So why would I want to let the kid build the car when
Yes.
I pay for the vacation?
And half the time when I'm riding the ride, my car is not showing up on the little.
Yeah, it's not synced
It's
right.
supposed to show you
It shows
how
up after
how
you're
your
already
car
passed.
performed. Yes.
Yeah, I don't do any of that.
I preferred the old version where it was you were supposed to be a crash test dummy. I thought that was a lot more fun.
Does anybody remember when crash test dummies were?
I had one. Like remember the crash test dummy?
Mm-hmm.
They had
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just they had a cartoon. Everybody had a cartoon in the 90s.
did.
And they had a little doll where you could beat it up and its head would pop off, or its arms would pop off, or its leg would pop off.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally related.
Yeah, I was so young in the 90s. I think I was 3.
You just don't remember, do you?
No, I was too
Okay,
young.
totally underrated. And I'm going to go across town to Universal Studios.
All right.
And I've heard comments from at least 2 of the people here about this ride. I think E.T. is criminally underrated. It's a it is a masterpiece of a dark ride.
No.
Yes, it is. The part where you get to his planet is a little weird, it's a little rushed,
Psychedelic?
but if they
It's stupid.
That ride is so weird.
yeah, but if they touched up the first half so it was a little cleaned up, the lighting was balanced better, it looked a little bit nicer, like that whole going through the woods, and then when you take off and that majestic view over the city, and I choked up seeing it.
I wish they
loved
would
it.
I wish they would update it. I loved it.
needs
And
some
I
love.
still think it's fine, but it's just in rough shape.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you get to the planet, it smells like you're in a weird swimming pool or something. I don't know.
Have
It's
you ever
very
been to
chlorine-y
E.T.'s
and-
planet before? Maybe that's what it really smells like.
That's true.
Okay, fair.
That's true.
I rode it recently with 2 people who had never ridden it before, and we're walking out, and both of them were like, "What just happened?"
What did I even just see, y'all?
Yes.
No, I wonder who that
Yes.
was. Yeah, I rode it for the first time this past May also, and I thought it was great.
I love that you were blown away by E.T. and you just rode it in May.
While you were talking about Universal, and it's a big attraction, but it doesn't really get as much love because of Harry Potter. But I think the Hulk might be one of the best roller coasters out there, and I just feel like it does not get enough love.
That
because
is so
of
fun.
Harry Potter and everything else. Yeah. I mean, that's really it.
Because of the Wizarding World.
Yeah, it's a great coaster.
It really is, yeah.
It could be themed to anything, and it would be a fantastic roller coaster.
Like, and it's just like you're nervous, but you don't have time to really be scared because bam, just like Rock and Roller Coaster, you're out the door and you have your first loop and drop.
You're inverted right away.
Yeah,
Yes.
just a barrel roll right out of the
That's
gate.
my kind of coaster when it's launched. I don't like being dragged up a mile-long hill,
Yeah,
but
the tick, 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 tick.
So
I
no
don't like
Thunder
that
Mountain
either.
then?
I'll do it, but no, I
Oh,
hate
come
that.
on.
I hate the beginning of Thunder Mountain. Though. It's so loud, and they
When
did
you're
a
going
big
through the room
year-long
with the-
update on Thunder Mountain so they could staple some paper bats on string and
I
hang
was
it
going to
from
say
the
that's the
from the
it's the room with the
from the
glow
climb.
in the dark paper
Ooh.
bats.
yeah.
It's so loud in that room.
One thing that I think is
I agree.
overrated is Soarin'.
mm-hmm.
I think
Especially
it was-
the new
I
version.
think it was pretty good.
if
the
you
old
sit on the
one,
left
the
and
new
the right-
one is especially lame.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of soaring around the world.
Yeah, I've complained more than once on this
Eiffel
show
Tower.
about the
Eiffel
banana-shaped pyramids and the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
And the
The me-
crooked Eiffel
The
Tower.
mechanics of it are good. It feels good. I like the smells and things, and I like getting off my feet. Literally having your feet hang feels great after a long day of walking in the parks. But it's just, I don't know. At least the wait is not as long.
Fun fact, though, did you know an erector set was the idea behind that attraction? Yeah, erector set. Yeah, erector set.
What? No way.
No,
Yes.
I've literally
He had an
never
erector set.
never heard that.
Rector, damn
you
near
gotta-
killed her.
Soren, more like Bourne.
That's right.
It actually, though, if you think about it, it fits the theme of Epcot. Overrated front to back.
Huh. Tell us more.
I'm just going to try not to. I
I would
really
never
made an
have
honest
thought you
attempt,
thought that, Dave.
but it's just too easy.
We just handed you that one on a
Do you
silver
have
platter. I
do you have
think.
a limerick this time?
But if we're going to talk about underrated, Spaceship Earth is underrated. And I'm genuinely scared.
Agree. I love it.
I'm
I love
scared.
Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, like I need the Phoenicians. Don't touch the Phoenicians. Don't touch the Library of Alexandria. Rome is burning. Don't touch it. I mean, from the computer scene on, you can change. Like the wine back down. Like change that. Don't touch the rest of it.
Yeah, and it's time for them to update the tech on the little computer screens in the cars.
Yeah.
Agree.
Maybe change the
The
mammoth
photo that it
projection too,
takes
so
of
we
you
can
is
see it.
garbage every time.
You ever notice when you go in there, you can't see anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And when you're going back down, it's just like a weird hall of disco mirrors. They could do a little something with the decline there. But I don't want them to change the ride. Update it and clean it up, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Heather, go ahead.
I am going to go with another underrated attraction for me is the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I love the Enchanted Tiki
Another
Room.
easy
Part of
walk-on.
it-
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, part of it is the nostalgia for me because it's a ride it's an attraction that Walt designed himself. And I love all the pictures of him in there and how fascinated he was by the animatronic birds. But I get that song stuck in my head and it doesn't bother me at all. And I think it's a great, I think
And the
it's a great
jokes are
little
funny
show.
every time. I mean,
Every
Even the racist
time.
ones.
yes.
Yeah. So corny.
I don't know what you mean, my friend.
I mean, let's be honest. It feels a little dated, but it's still.
Yeah, but I like that about it. I like that when they put Iago and
Pierre.
what's his
I
name
hated that.
in there.
Zazu.
I was Zazu and Iago. Yeah, I was not a fan. I mean, even though I love Zazu, I love the Lion King, but they did not belong in the Tiki Room. And I was so glad when they caught fire and they had to take them out. Oopsie.
So that was Heather
That
that
was
did
you,
that,
wasn't
huh?
it?
What?
Yeah. Oh, no
Never.
smoking in here?
Oh,
I had
my
no
bad.
idea.
I think another overrated attraction, and Jeff, I apologize ahead of time. Thunder Mountain. It just doesn't do it anymore. In Magic
What?
Kingdom, Thunder Mountain is.
Shut your mouth. I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed,
Listen,
Dave.
I
Go-
just think
Go
that
ahead, Dave.
it needs
Dig your grave.
it needs some love. Maybe once upon a time it was top of the line, but it's broken at least twice a day now for 45 minutes.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
chain
and
lift.
then when they do get it working, you can't walk on it because they have to give all those fast passes out for everybody who's in line. So the standby line's 2 hours. I think it could be good, but it's just fallen off the wayside at this point because of the lines. And when you compare it to Disneyland, where they have the dynamite at the end, just some of those minor details, I think Disneyland has a better version of the ride.
I love the dynamite on the interior part at Disneyland, but I think the track at Disney World is better.
Yeah, it got a more recent retrack.
I just think
I-
the layout of it is better.
I don't
That's
agree with you
that's
at
a-
all.
That's a
but
very civil way.
I will say that I was disappointed. I was disappointed when they did that long refurb and they did not add the projections with the dynamite, and we got some glow in the dark.
Got LED lights on the
That was
outside
it.
too.
That was
It changes
disappointing.
color.
Okay, yeah. The Big Thunder Mountain in Disneyland Paris is a fantastic ride.
Amazing.
That is my favorite version of that ride, hands down.
Yeah, me too.
I think
Mine too.
just to the left of that, though, underrated will always be Splash Mountain because it's my favorite attraction. I think that is often underrated.
I do love Splash
Don't look
Mountain.
at me like that, Dan.
I'm just trying to
I
figure
love
out
it
who
too, and
doesn't
it's-
love Splash Mountain.
I don't.
Yeah, who,
I just,
who
yeah,
thinks
I'm
that
just.
it's
I
underrated?
don't think it gets enough
Big
love.
tell
Like
us.
that should be the
Yeah.
front of the poster as soon as you walk in. There should be a.
How
needs
could
more
it get
love.
more love?
It was for I feel like
I feel
in
like
the
they
early
turned the water
90s,
down.
that was all you
I
ever
don't
saw
think you
or
could as
heard
wet
about.
on it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I
just
didn't
saying.
enjoy it that much. No.
I just don't think you get that much on it.
Right down.
Well, I have one from Universal that I think is overrated, and maybe it was only overrated by the staff at Universal themselves, but the Fast and the Furious.
It's an
It's
epic
not
ride.
fast. It's not fast, and it will make you furious if you stand in line for it because it's terrible.
I rode it one time as part of a VIP tour of the parks, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was silly, and but I wouldn't wait more than 45 seconds in line for it.
I mean, seriously, it's the Fast and the Furious, and
It's neither.
they had an opportunity to put you in individual cars that actually go fast. You're on this stupid, weird bus thing that moves really slow.
Well, it's the same bus and small short track that they had for the disaster ride and Kong Experience or whatever it was before it. So
I
just didn't have
don't
any.
like it at all. Yeah, and I think Kong is overrated too. The animatronic giant King Kong in there is fabulous. It is very cool, but the rest of the ride is just meh.
Yeah, it was there was a few things that really stood out, but it was short and just didn't. The animatronic was great. Some of the effects where the bugs get splattered and you get splattered, that was cool. The general idea was great, but
That's
it
true.
could have been a lot more.
It's the exact same ride mechanics as Fast and Furious. The bus pulls into the thing, and then you're surrounded by a screen that moves around, and you shake on a platform, and then you pull out.
I think it's telling that in Hollywood they do the exact same thing on their tram ride, and you just sit in the tram. So how? I mean, you know,
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, it doesn't. I don't know. Very
I
little
like
effort.
both of those rides. There's a lot of virtual stuff at Universal, and I like it for the most part, but it does get a little old.
Yeah. I've got one that I think is overrated that might upset some people at Universal. Green Gots. It
Agreed.
was-
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Y'all
got
think
fat
Escape
shamed,
from
so-
Gringotts is
I
overrated?
enjoyed it, but there's
Oh,
that. There is that.
I can ride that one,
I
but I
can't
can't
ride
ride the
Gringotts,
other
but
one
I
because
can
I'm
ride
too
it.
fat.
But honestly,
Sorry.
yeah.
Weird.
When in May, I was the second time I rode it, and I got off. I was just like, I don't need to do it again. I did it once. I
Oh.
love everything from the time you enter the bank until you get on the ride was great. I love it. The main bank area, and when you go on the the hydrolators, because fun fact, that's exactly how the hydrolators at the Seas Pavilion worked. It's the exact same thing in Gringotts. It's an airbag under the floor.
Yes.
But
Yes.
all that stuff is great.
Spoiler
Sorry,
alert.
guys. But the ride itself was just kind of meh, I think.
Yeah, they tried to jam me in. I mean, I'm a bigger guy, but I'm not that big. But I needed one more click, and I couldn't get the click. So I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think it depends on the ride operator, because I've ridden things one day and literally came back and they're like, nope, sorry. I'm like,
Just
seriously,
push.
you can
Just
crush
keep
my
pushing.
sternum. Just get me in here.
Just get me on the
It
ride.
depends on
I
how
just
hard
rode
they
rode
want
it
to
yesterday.
try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they get a little lazy at Universal, to be honest.
Yeah, they were trying to click me in and they wouldn't. And they're like, oh, you guys go ahead, talking to my family. And Heather was with us. It was 3 families worth. They sent everybody ahead. They said, you guys go ahead. We'll send him through here. And I think there's going to be a modified car entrance, which there are on some of the
On the
rides.
left.
They have a modified car for bigger guests. And so they go through this door. So I go through this door and I'm in the gift shop. And
Oh, no.
I don't have my phone or anything to let anyone know where I went. And the rest of our party went on the ride.
I swear that I thought that ride
So
was
I
one,
was so
but-
pissed. I just left. I left the
The
whole
bar?
park. And
Left
what
to
did
the park.
And guess where I
Yes.
went? To a buffet. Literally a buffet. Like, I'm so fat, I'm just going to go to a buffet. That is a thing that happened.
I have another underrated one that I'm not sure anybody will agree with me on, and that is Mickey's Fun Wheel at Disneyland. And I'm not talking the stationary cars.
The death cars.
I mean the crazy death cars that swing back and forth and you feel like you're going to fly off that thing.
Dog.
I
That's a
love
no
that.
for me.
That is a no from me.
I didn't get to go on that, but I would ride that with you. Yeah. It looks
Oh,
fun.
Yes, because no one will ride it with me. My family won't do it. We convinced I convinced my family to ride it with me once, and my youngest son did not speak to me for the rest of the day until
We call that a
And
I
you say that
agree.
like it's a bad thing.
yes. I had to agree to buy him Yes, I had to agree to buy him as many churros as he wanted before he would speak to me again.
He played you.
He was absolutely terrified, and I thought it is scary. It
So
really
while we're
is, and I think it's a thrill
Go ahead,
ride,
Jeff.
and I think it's underrated.
So while we are on the West Coast, way underrated, and everybody threw a fit when it left
Yes.
or switched over. But Guardians of the Galaxy might be the absolute most underrated ride in all of on any Disney property. That is the most fun I've ever had. Between the 6 different tracks,
I agree with you.
Like we rode, how many times did we ride it during that AVD?
I
mean, we just kept
absolutely
getting
love
on
that
and
ride.
on and on and on.
Oh, it just
And I
as
had 5
many
or 6.
times as we could. I
Yep,
think
I had
our
5 or
goal was
6.
to get every single song before we were done. Yeah, I finally have
There's
had all
never
6
a time
songs.
I would never ride that ride.
Yes,
It's or
I
attraction.
love that
I mean,
ride
it's just
so much.
absolutely underrated. And I think,
Yeah,
I hope they do that to Tower of Terror.
I hear people saying, "Oh, they better not do that to Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios."
Yeah,
I
I
would
do
throw
too.
a
Talking
party
Disney.
if they did it because that ride is so much fun, and I love the Tower of Terror. I really do. Fun fact: I didn't ride it until I was
5 weeks ago.
probably
50 weeks.
close
50.
to 40 years old. Hey, yeah, but now it's one of my favorite rides.
I love Tower
and-
of Terror so much
Yeah.
that I broke my tailbone riding it, trying to get trying to make it more thrilling, and I still ride
Well,
it
that's
every
like,
time.
fault.
just
Yep.
doing both. You get way more airtime in Guardians of the Galaxy because you do go up and down so fast, so many times, so quick. Like you'll go up and then,
And so many,
Yeah.
the drop sequences, seem to be more intense. And
yeah.
I don't know, it's just so much more fun with the music.
Yeah,
and
the vibe is all about
Love
fun
it.
on that one, and not
Sure.
nothing scary. So
not scary. Yeah.
it's a better way to ease grown-ups even, but I was going to say children, into that kind of drop feeling. But for Heather, that was the case. That was the first one she rode, and because it didn't have the fear factor leading up to the drops, it eased
So,
her
fun
into
fact-
actually enjoying it. It's more of a
This
party
is true.
atmosphere.
Although the picture of me on the first ride
That's
is pretty spectacularly hilarious.
We'll put that on
but-
the Facebook page.
Oh,
Up
no,
until
we will
recently,
not.
that was
We
my
will most
contact photo for
certainly.
you. So just so we're.
Oh, oh, no.
Yeah.
Gave you that photo, Jeff.
Nope, it might have been a guy by the name of Zachary. I don't remember.
But how did Zach
So-
get it? Oh,
So, fun fact about that:
This
the
is
part at the beginning where
disheartening.
Rocket connects the walkie-talkie to, or the Walkman to the system,
hmm
Mhm,
they
mhm.
use that same.
Let's get things
they
rocking.
use that same projection in the Epcot pavilion that just opened, talking about the future of Epcot, to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So, like when you watch that, he says, "Let's get this thing
cool.
rocking," and it's the same projection of him connect. So when you're there, check that out. I noticed that right
Oh,
away. I said, "Hey,
fun.
that's from
Cool.
Disneyland."
So I wonder if that'll be the opening where they launch
Yeah,
the
that would
new
be kinda
Guardians
cool if
coaster
they-
they're building at Epcot.
Or they could just turn Tower of
That would be
Terror
fun.
into it. I mean,
That
it's
would be
fine
a
too.
cool little, yeah. Or
I'm
build
all
a.
for
They
it.
could build a second drop ride just like it.
You can actually move buildings
somewhere
now.
else.
No,
I'd be
we're
okay
not
with
allowed to
that.
have any two
Yeah.
rides with the same mechanics in the same state. That's
Really?
well, no. That's just
Is that a thing?
people get all up in arms about that kind of nonsense.
Oh, well,
Because
I
Fast
don't
and
care about
Furious
the
and
people.
Kong Skull Island are
The
the
one you have
exact
a
same.
Right.
fast drive.
Yeah, and they're very close to
But
each
that's why
other.
we're not allowed
what
to
about-
bring Indiana Jones from Disneyland to Disney
How
World
about
because
Aladdin magic carpets and Dumbo
Yeah.
and Triceratops spin. Those are nothing alike.
All right, we were talking about Epcot.
oh
Do we have to?
I gotta bring up another overrated Epcot, and this is recent. Epcot Forever.
Yeah.
I was underwhelmed. I'm
Yeah, but
hoping
they had
that
jet
it's-
skis.
allegedly in person it's
Yeah.
better.
No.
That's what Dave says.
No, change your mind.
I mean, all right. It's no Illuminations. I mean, it's a good stopgap, but if that was the Forever show, I'd be pissed. Like, it's just not worth.
Yeah, I hope it's something better because meh.
It's funny that it's called
Like-
Forever, and it's a temporary show.
Epcot Forever.
Epcot for now.
Like jet skis.
A few.
Jet skis don't. Oh, Siri doesn't like it. Jet skis just don't seem like they should be a part of that. Like it
kites
just
and jet
feels.
skis.
I mean, it's not 1996 anymore. We can move past
It's
that.
the Water World
somebody was
exhibit.
like, yeah.
Coming
Somebody
soon.
was
dude.
like, how do we cover this big area? Well, we'll get some guys on a jet ski and we'll give them a kite.
But there's only
and
like
it'll
5
glow.
of them in that huge lake. That's the thing with that show is the lake is so big, it's too much real estate to take up with anything.
Just bring the
entertaining.
drones in and let's.
Those
call it
fire
a day.
kites are pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Let's just
For
figure out the
sure.
drone technology.
Yeah.
I
for
saw a
sure.
video just today of somebody was
Well-
like, "Oh, Intel offered them this for an Epcot show, and they passed." And it was like drones creating a globe, and the globe spins around
Oh,
and
I
then
saw that.
morphs into
Yeah.
other stuff.
Okay, that
Which
sounds
they,
cool.
I mean, they had
Yeah.
at Christmas at Disney Springs like once.
Yes, I did see
Yeah,
that.
that was
Mhm.
cool.
That was
I wonder
very
if
cool.
there's concerns about it flying over people, though. Like if that's the only concern,
Well, if it's
something
out in the
happens
middle of the
it.
lake,
Well, they didn't care at Disney Springs. Yeah.
If they keep it confined to over the lake, they're going to be out some money, but it's not going to land on a guest's head.
Just a
True,
gator or
yeah.
two.
It might land on a jet skier's head.
Run into one of the kites.
no.
Yeah.
Well, giving Epcot a little bit of love, I think Living with the Land is underrated.
Agreed.
Yes. It needs
mean-
its person back. It needs the person back.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Wait, what was that? What person?
Living with the Land, when you're on the boat, used to have a guided tour person, similar to.
Hmm.
Did it?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
long time
Mhm.
ago. Maybe not that
Yeah,
long.
I
but
remember
yeah.
that as a kid, and it was just more interesting, I think, than listening to a bunch of recorded audios. It's the same every time.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think it needs the
Except
cast.
you might get lame cast members like the bad skippers on the
Jungle
Jungle Cruise.
Touche.
Someone who's just
Sure.
phoning it in. Because how interesting can a fern be on the 75th time you've passed it that day?
But
Well,
I do
at the
think
same-
that should be
Yeah.
more attention. It needs more love.
Look, guys, a giant cucumber. Again.
Well, they also have removed stuff from that ride, so they probably had more things to see and say.
Yeah, they used
first
to have
half.
plants.
Well, the whole first half, that's weird animatronics and stuff, used to have more. They've
Yeah.
removed
Now they just have a chicken and a dog, right?
a buffalo that doesn't move.
And it's that
Yeah,
same
which-
dog
which
that's in
makes-
every
Fake
attraction.
alligators.
Yes. Which makes the garden grill less interesting because that's what it's rotating around to see is
Mhm.
those scenes.
As if Garden Grill could be less interesting.
So I guess I'll throw a little love to Epcot's way. It's going to hurt. But I think the Morocco
That's-
Pavilion is underrated. I don't think Morocco gets an.
It's so
Absolutely.
beautiful.
I love the smell. First off, I just love that smell of the burning incense that they have in the stores and stuff. And I just think there's a lot of cool
Mhm.
stuff there, and I don't think it gets enough
And
attention.
it feels like it goes on forever. There's a bunch of little nooks and
The
crannies. And
fountain in the front, like that, that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
that fireplace towards the back that's shaped like a penis.
Yes, I was just going to bring up that Jeff's favorite photo spot.
That's right. No, it's a great pavilion. There's all the little shops in there are cool. And I always want to buy one of those lamps, but I never pull the trigger and do it. I need to do that.
Plus, I like it when Aladdin and Jasmine are there too. Like that's
Overrated for me, Chef Mickey's
Yes.
restaurant.
agree.
We've reached this
Oh.
portion.
Yes.
It's Golden Corral with character.
And $45 more.
The decor is
Yeah.
the decor is not even good. It's
Yeah.
not a great atmosphere.
You're eating Golden Corral in the middle of an airport waiting room with,
Mhm.
I mean, the character interaction isn't even good because the place is huge. So they stop by and say hey and move on.
And that one is a hot ticket item. Everybody
Still
wants to
hot
eat
ticket.
at Chef Mickey's. Ugh.
At what point did Chef Mickey's end up there? Because I remember back when we first went in 1994, it was in what's now Disney Springs. Then it was the Village Marketplace.
Really?
And it wasn't a
Mhm.
buffet. Characters randomly walked in, but it was just like family. It was just like a regular sit down place.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
but it's like Cruella de Vil, I think, or the Evil Queen or something came in and see
It's not good, and they keep saying that it's going to undergo a refurb,
Well,
and
do it
then they
already.
keep pushing it off,
it.
and
Because
it
Yeah,
needs
but
it.
they
It's-
won't
yeah.
because people are still going there. So why would they bother if
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
true.
busy? You know, like
you can spend $0 and still people can't wait to give them $58 or whatever it costs for the buffet.
Yeah.
Another one I think that's overrated and kind of in that same area is Cinderella's Royal Table. I do think that is overrated. I mean, listen,
I
it's
love
great
it.
to meet the princesses, but when you look at what you pay for the actual It's very
It
expensive.
is expensive.
For a
It's a very
little
expensive
bitty-
meal.
Like it's a little plate.
Little teeny tiny
Yeah,
steak.
weirdly, I went for the first time only last year because I had a boy child and he would never go. So we went last year, and I thought it was great to sit in the castle and meet the princesses. I was like an 8-year-old girl all over again.
He was. It was.
I think
it
that
was
part's fun. I
adorable.
just think for the price of what it is, they don't give you enough. Like you're paying for the princesses. You're basically paying for the fast passes to meet the princesses.
That's true. Yeah.
You're paying for that very limited real estate.
Yeah. How else
There's
do you
only,
get in there?
what does
Yeah.
it seat? Maybe 100 people tops.
The experience
At
of
3
eating
or 4 times a
in
day, like they
Cinderella
have to
Castle.
charge more. I get it, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you don't have to like it.
While we're piling on,
Boy,
while we're
this is
piling
escalating
on
quickly.
the must-do restaurants, Be Our Guest is on the list too of
For
totally
dinner.
overrated for
Oh,
dining experiences.
Totally overrated.
Makes-
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Be Our Guest dinner. Never need
Lunch
to do
is
it again.
very good.
Breakfast is good.
I do like the breakfast there.
But Be Our Guest
I don't
dinner,
think
why?
I've done lunch there.
Especially if you're in the main dining room and it's just super loud
Well,
and
yeah, now
You
it's
know-
that prix menu at dinner, and it's even more expensive.
The only time I had dinner there was actually when I met
That
you.
would be why
Dan,
it's
the first
overrated.
time.
yeah, way back in that was 2012.
Yeah, and that's why I never went
Beast-
back.
Exactly. Neither have I.
Beast
It was
walks
not.
through the room and waves at you, and that's it.
But lunch is
Like,
really good. They
it's-
have really
yeah,
good
it's
food for
stupid.
lunch.
It's beautiful in there. It's beautifully
Underrated
themed.
restaurant. Underrated
bread
restaurant,
service.
I think, is Sanaa.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's kind of out of the way. It's a little tricky to get to it,
Bread
but the food is
service.
incredible, and the views are
Bread
great.
service.
Yes, all
That's the best part. You
bread,
could go there and
all
just
the
get
bread and
3
all the
sets of that.
dips.
and
Yes.
call it.
Yeah, and
3
you can
sets of
really
bread
service.
3 sets
Three.
of bread service. That's a lot.
Dave likes his carbs.
Don't judge
Yeah.
me.
It's not unheard of to be able to get same day reservations there for dinner. And I don't know if you've ever been there for lunch, but at lunch it is empty, and you can pretty much be guaranteed to get a
Just
seat
because they're
near
closed,
the
but
window.
The
she's
bar
right.
that's there too also serves the same food for the most part,
That is not true.
and get
Yeah, you
and
can
get the
sit
bread
at the
service.
bar
Mhm.
almost walk in any day.
They actually
Does it have
serve
bread
breakfast at Sanaa now too.
bread service and breakfast.
Did they have bread service?
I cannot confirm or deny that they have bread service. I don't know. I haven't gone there for breakfast. I will be honest. But I should try it because I love it.
I don't love breakfast. I'm not a breakfast guy. It's kind
Yeah,
of the
honestly,
same no
at
matter where you
home,
eat it.
Yeah, at home I don't really eat much breakfast, but I tend to at Walt Disney
Going
World.
back to our friends in Disneyland, California Adventure, one of the most underrated pieces of property is Flo's V8 Cafe. It's it
you
is.
take that back
You
right
can
now.
get a cold chicken. You can get a cold chicken,
It's a culinary delight.
a melted
Cold
milkshake. You can
fried
get a melted
chicken fried in
milkshake.
old oil that tastes funny.
So
Yep.
I think it's
Cold
way
chicken and
underrated.
hot
Just-
milkshakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can get that milkshake in a souvenir radiator racer's cup or what
Is
was
it
it? The
piston
piston
cup?
You're
cup.
not piston cup,
Yeah.
yes.
Why would you want?
More like-
why
like you're
would you
not being
want? Why would you
genuine,
want a
Dave.
piston cup?
Yeah, I like, you stole my joke. I was
I'm
going to
just-
say I
I'm
prefer
just
my
saying-
cup not piston.
If you wanted to spend a lot of money,
Wow.
I was going to cut
Why
this
would you
bit
cut-
out, but now I gotta leave
if
it in.
you wanted to,
No,
that's
you gotta
good.
leave that in
you
there,
cut it out
Dan.
too much.
Well,
last
because we
time.
already piled
If
on
you wanted to
flows.
spend the money on yourself and then to turn around and hate yourself later, you'll go to Flo.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I would almost rather go across the street and eat one of those cones full of dog food at the
The
Cozy Cone Cafe over there.
So what we're saying is that the food in Carsland is not top notch.
No.
That's what I'm
But
hearing.
truly underrated is Pixar Pier.
Yes.
As a
Everything
whole,
about it is great.
but the roller coaster, the Incredicoaster,
Oh, I
Incredicoaster is way
love the
underrated.
I don't think
Incredicoaster.
anybody's
Yeah, I'm
underrated
curious,
it. It's
yeah.
a
Who
premier
doesn't like
attraction.
it?
Nope, underrated. I don't think it gets enough love. I just don't see it's never that
That's
busy.
true. The
I mean,
lines.
it has like a
that's
45
true. The
minute
lines
wait.
never do seem
It's
to be that
always
long.
45 to a
Yeah.
They
half
do a
hour
great
for that.
job of
when we were there the whole
hustling
time.
things in there, and it has single rider. It's one of the few single rider rides
That's
there.
a great
So
ride.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's a great
that
coaster.
one, I like.
I do love Pixar Pier. I think there were some folks who were a little upset that they went with an overhaul of that area and went with a Pixar theme, but I think it's
There were
adorable.
many sayers of nay, but
That
yay,
is
say
true.
I love
I
it.
also say yay. I love Pixar Pier.
Is Inside Out, is their attraction open yet?
It
'Cause
is.
That'll make
yes.
it even better.
Mhm.
Mood
so
swings.
Emotional
Yeah,
whirlwind.
why did they not?
Yeah.
God.
Call it mood swings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my own original thought I had when there last time.
Was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great
missed
thought.
That was
you
all
had.
me.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
very, very creative.
Pixar Pier
That's right.
does lead.
And
I'm sending a memo to Bob about that one.
and the Lighthouse Point, was that Lighthouse Point, the bar that's there?
Lamplight
Lamplight
Lounge.
As you're walking in, Lamplight
Nailed it,
Lounge.
Dave.
Yeah, that's,
Yes, you got
It's
it.
in the right
close.
neighborhood.
That was close.
What is it? The Crab
That.
Shack? Is that it?
I knew it had a light in
It's
it.
around
It
the
had a
block.
light. What do you want from
Krabby
me?
Patties there.
Yeah.
That's my
Not
favorite
perfect.
restaurant there.
SpongeBob,
Now,
me boy.
that place is fantastic.
Pixar Pier leads me to attraction that I'll probably get some flack for. But man, do I hate Midway Mania. I do not understand why that's the hot ticket
Same.
item. It's not fun to me.
Huh.
However,
No.
even worse is
At all? You don't
No.
like it at all?
it's not fun. I don't think it's fun, but even worse than that is the other Toy Story ride. I do not like Space Ranger Spin, and I don't understand why everybody wants to ride it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I do like Toy Story
I
Mania.
do like
but
that one, but I don't love Toy
Yeah.
Story Mania.
I wish it was easier to aim. You can't aim that
I
one.
suck
it's
at
a-
Space Ranger
it's
Spin.
broken.
And maybe that's why I don't like
it's,
it.
It's hardcore broken. It needs a little refurb.
It needs a
I
replacement.
think for me, Space Ranger Spin is one of those nostalgia things. It was maybe the first ride I rode with my son when we took him for the first time, and so it was just.
okay.
I think every time I ride it, it makes me happy. Plus,
Moving
it has
west
black
just a little
lights.
bit. Yes. In Magic Kingdom, the laugh floor is way
Monsters, Inc.
underrated. Yeah,
Oh,
Monsters Inc.
absolutely.
is way
That is
underrated.
that's a fun
MILF.
show. I like it.
And
I
I-
always
and I
want to
think-
be that guy.
Yes.
Have you ever been that guy?
I have not. I've been.
Oh.
He's
My
been
son
that
and
guy.
I were called out for. What was the other thing? We had to cheer every time that he said a certain word or something. I forget what the deal was, but we did do that. But I've never been that guy.
I need to know how that
We've-
attraction works.
We've texted jokes in.
Yeah.
My youngest is a whiz at the bad pun, and he
Yeah.
likes to text those.
Yeah,
in.
we texted a joke in. It was Sarah Jessica Parker walked into a bar and the bartender said, "Why the long face?"
Oh,
It's not nice.
but it's true.
And my other one that I can't figure out why it's so popular. I like it okay, but why is Peter Pan's flight always an hour wait? What in the world?
Such a long wait.
It's constant loading.
Because the cars are so
it
small.
seems like they load
Yep,
quickly.
it is an
but,
omnimover.
And Disneyland is a better version anyway.
It
when you
is.
Compare the two.
And it doesn't seem like the wait is as long.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to remember the difference between
I
the
don't
two.
know. Why if it's just because it's one of those rides that anyone can ride, and so
I
you
think
can take
everyone
your
remembers
baby
it
on?
from
I
when
don't
they
know.
were a kid too. So you got to take your kid. And yeah, you're right. Every baby can ride it.
I mean, the standby queue is
Yeah.
pretty cool for that one. I mean, it's when the
just-
air condition
It is
when the
now,
air
yeah.
condition's working,
Mhm.
it's a good place to go.
Yes.
Hang out for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the interactive stuff in there with the shadow and Tink and everything is cute.
Yeah. On a similar vein with the classic original dark rides, and this just kind of occurred to me, but did everybody really need to get up in arms when Mr. Toad's Wild Ride left Walt Disney World? Because
Yes.
really? Is there
No,
Yes,
I
everyone
agree.
did.
I liked it and I loved it as a little
It's
kid. But
fine.
having ridden it again back out at Disneyland, it's literally painted plywood.
Yeah, which I mean so
But
is
he gets killed and he goes to
yeah,
hell.
no,
fits
it's, I mean
better.
it's
Yeah, that part's
fine,
cool.
but like we don't need to be so angry about it.
He fits fine in the haunted mansion right outside. It's fine.
Yeah, I wasn't angry about it. That's
Well, a
true.
lot of people really were.
Well, they put in
This
Winnie
is
the
true,
Pooh,
yeah.
though, which was that the one that
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that replaced it at Walt Disney
Yeah,
World.
Winnie the Pooh is a stink fest.
But it's better than
Yes.
Disneyland.
It also is painted plywood.
Yeah, but so
Have you
so
ever
are-
seen that on with the lights on?
Yeah, so are a lot of other
It's-
rides. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Halloween version of Space Mountain is overrated. So
I've never
it's-
gotten to ride
it's
that
just
Ghost Galaxy.
Pitch dark and rock
At Disneyland?
at Disney World. It's just pitch dark with rock
when
music.
when they just turn off the yeah, I agree.
Oh, I liked that at the villains thing. They had scary music, and it was pitch black.
And it was pitch dark. Yeah.
Isn't it always pitch dark?
No.
Well, yes, but they take out you
There's
don't
no
see
stars,
like the
no warp tunnel,
and the
swirling
asteroids.
It seems
ships.
like you
no
barely
nothing.
see
It's-
that stuff anyway when it's normally running.
and that's
It doesn't make that annoying sound I hate. That's
That
the
was
one.
really good.
I think that they could do more with that, but they phoned
I
it
wish
in.
Walt Disney World had more overlays like Disneyland
Any
does.
overlays.
Many overlays, yeah. I've never ridden Ghost Galaxy, but I've heard it's cool.
That Star Wars overlay they did.
The Star Wars Space Mountain at Disneyland is the bomb.
Hyperspace Mountain was the best. That was the best.
And I'm so sad it's not there. It was so good. The Haunted Mansions overlay for Halloween all the way through Christmas is spectacular. So fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
my
we don't get
favorite.
anything like that out at Walt Disney World.
I wonder why that is.
We had the Jingle Cruise.
Yeah, they did do that.
Did they bring that back? They
They did.
stopped it for a year.
They brought
or
it
two.
They
back.
did stop, and they did
last
bring
year
it
they
back.
brought it back.
They had about 1/10 of the amount of stuff in that overlay that Disneyland did. Put a hat on a walrus. Or a hippopotamus, rather, not a walrus.
Where's the
The jungle walrus.
This one's probably a bit of a sore point for the Walt Disney Company right now, but I think that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge as a whole, not talking about just the ride that's open right now, but I think the land as a whole is underrated and it's not getting the love that I think it deserves. I love it. I think it's spectacularly immersive and the attention to detail in there is great. And I guess I understand why it's not attracting the crowds that they're expecting yet. I'm hoping maybe that changes when Rise of the Resistance opens.
I think they are shocked that there's only one ride to ride, and then it's basically a space shopping mall outside. And then there's a ride.
True.
So people are going to it, but there's not enough. You're not going to wander around in there for 6 hours like I think they thought people were going to do. You come in, you ride the ride, you look in 4 or 5 shops, and you're out. And that's how Toy Story Land is the same way. You ride the ride, there's nothing else to do, so you leave.
And they deliberately did not build up the hype for it with much of any kind of marketing.
That was very cavalier of them.
Bob Iger said, we're not going to market it. We're just going to say it. I'm going to tweet it's open and everyone will come. And that's just not what happened. And I think they needed to get the story out, get the hype out, because you're not walking onto Hoth. You're not walking onto Endor. It's not a Star Wars planet that you've ever seen before. So they needed to get, or care about, sure. They needed to get that backstory out there, and they're starting to try and remedy that, I think.
And none of the legacy characters other than Chewbacca.
Yeah. Right.
I'm wondering, are they really actually surprised, or is that just kind of the media story? I kind of am inclined to think that maybe this is just like a giant soft opening for them.
That could be. And
Yeah.
I do appreciate that it wasn't
money in there.
overrun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got to see it twice at Disneyland and it without crowds, and that was fantastic. I mean, we were all expecting it to be just wall to wall to wall to wall people, and it wasn't. So that was nice to be able to experience it without that.
I think if people are going to stay in there and keep their wallets in there, they needed to have stuck with the original plan to have a lot more interactive things and more characters and more
Definitely
interactive games to play and different things. Bob Chapek notoriously slashed the budget again and again and again till they just bare boned it to, you've got 4 stormtroopers and Kylo Ren walking around in there, and that's it. I've yet to see Rey in Disney World. I've been in there several times, never seen her. I know she's at Disneyland, but I don't even know if she's at the Disney World one. Have y'all seen her?
Yes, she is there.
She is. Okay,
you did.
good.
I haven't.
Yeah, I've seen her.
The couple of times I was in there, I didn't.
I
see
know
her.
they claimed that they were purposely keeping some of that stuff out, so when they thought it was going to be more crowded, and then as things settled down, they're going to start bringing things in.
Well, I hope they do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement.
There's definitely also
That's for
cuts. I mean, I know there was at one point they're talking about having like drones of X-Wings and stuff flying overhead. And
Of spaceships landing. Yeah, that would be cool.
and that's what it needs is some of that kinetic energy.
Yeah, and like impromptu stunt performances too, where troopers would fall off buildings and stuff.
yeah.
There was all sorts of cool stuff they
That
talked
would be
about.
killer.
When they announced it at D23, it was like all this stuff, and that's always the way
Yeah.
they slash and slash.
Yeah, and Smuggler's Run I love being able to walk onto the Millennium Falcon and the
You
queue
mean
is
Star Tours
incredible.
3.0?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting to. That it's Star Tours, basically. It's a cooler ride vehicle, but
Yeah, I love the walkthrough and the photo op and seeing, being able to be inside the Falcon, but the gameplay itself
yeah.
the ride / gameplay isn't that great.
Unless
It's
you're the
just okay.
pilot.
It doesn't make me want to ride it again and again.
Unless you're the pilot, it's
Well, Heather and I are awesome at piloting.
So good.
There was no
We-
wrecking at all.
None whatsoever. Smooth as silk.
Hmm.
We just nailed it.
you hit everything, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
every single thing we could hit, up and
Every
down and left and right.
possible thing.
It could be argued it's more fun that way.
In
There
our
is-
defense, we were drunk driving the Millennium Falcon.
This is true. At one point, there's a weird scraping noise happening, and the whole thing is shaking. And I'm going, "What's happening right now?" And Jeff's is like, "That's you, dumbass."
Yeah, you're scraping the whole roof of the whole top of the Falcon along the
That's
roof
you.
of the cave.
That's you, dummy. You need to pull up. Oh, right.
Yeah, my last one that I was going to bring up is underrated. Is for me the dinosaur attraction at Animal Kingdom. I think it's great, and people seem to hate that ride immensely, but I love it. I think it's cool set pieces. I didn't care anything about the movie it's based on, but I like the cheesy pre-show, and I like the ride. I like bouncing around, and I like the sets, and it's super loud, and there's that great photo op to have your friend that hasn't ridden it before get the mess scared out of them. I love it. The only thing negative I can see is I need to wear my sports bra when I ride it.
Yeah.
It is a little bouncy.
But I love it. But a lot of people really hate it or say it's too scary or too loud. It's all of those
gets a
things,
bad
but
rap.
I love it.
That's what makes it great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the Indiana Jones version of it out at Disneyland is better. It's the same ride track and vehicle, but it's indie themed. But I do love the dinosaur version too.
Yeah, I've never been on that one, but it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, it's dinosaurs. Who doesn't love dinosaurs?
How have you never been on this, Dan?
You've
And
never
why
been
did
on
we hire you?
Dinosaur?
I honestly don't know, to be honest. Nepotism.
Ah, yes.
That's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. Next time we're down there, I'm going to ride that with
I
you,
would love
and you're
to
going to
ride
love
that
it.
with you. I
We're
want to
going to
ride
do
it. I
that, and
just-
then we're going to do It's Tough to Be a Bug
Perfect.
with your children.
Yes.
Good. Yes,
Your
let's go with
young-
our
Do
children.
that.
Young
Do
children.
that.
Please bring. You know what? I think Alex would probably love it. Presley, not so
Yeah,
much.
I don't like it anymore.
Yeah. Alex isn't afraid of anything, so
No,
maybe he'd like it.
no, he's not.
Also, people need to quit being so nostalgic and in love with Main Street Electrical Parade. PU.
Oh, so glad you said that.
I mean, I get it. My husband proposed to me during that or whatever, but just it's chicken wire with Christmas lights on it. It's not good.
I disagree. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. A lot of people do.
I think, and because the biggest thing is like growing up and on the Disney Channel is like any time that you see the Magic Kingdom, that was like iconic, and so it's kind of intertwined in my
I suppose, yeah.
in my idea of what the Magic Kingdom is. I guess I don't know.
I love the Paint the Night.
Oh, yeah. Paint the Night.
I love that one at Disneyland, and I don't know. I never cared for. I will walk right past that parade if it was happening around me.
I was really happy.
What about that fabulous water parade?
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love that too.
It's exactly the same as Wishes, only
is.
on water.
And that's why I like that music. I was really excited when we were when we were down there, and it was right before the electrical parade. It was the 45th anniversary. It was leaving like right at the same time, so I got to catch it a couple of times, and I enjoyed it. I think it's
I didn't super dislike that parade. I just I wasn't sad when it left, but I do wish they would have a nighttime parade. I love
they
parades.
need something.
Someone should write a song about loving parades.
I love a parade. Does anybody know any other words to that song besides the title?
Nope.
No.
I didn't
Sure
think so.
don't.
Anybody else have anything that's really nagging at their souls that they want to get off their chest as it pertains to over and underrated attractions?
I'm good. I've tapped
I
out.
think I've exhausted my thoughts on the subject.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've let it all out.
Yep. Anything I haven't covered
Feels
tonight,
good.
Save
I've
for a future.
gone on a rant before. So
And if anybody else would like to point out the things they think are over or underrated, they should do so on our Facebook page.
absolutely, tell us what we were wrong about.
That's right.
That's right.
Fight us. We can take it.
Okay, ew.
All right. Something else that people should be checking out on Facebook, head over to the Theme Park Professor Facebook page or themeparkprofessor.com for details about the Disney Do-Over contest, where you can share with us your stories of Disney World vacation gone wrong because you decided to try to do it for yourself. It's a lot of work, and using a Disney travel planner such as the fine folks at Key to the World Travel is definitely the way to go. So head on over there, tell us what went wrong, and we'll show you how we could fix it. One lucky entrant will. Lucky fan. Yeah. Heather, tell them about the contest.
Our lucky winner is going to win a 3-night, 4-day Walt Disney World vacation in a deluxe resort with the deluxe dining plan and their tickets all planned by a Key to the World travel advisor who specializes in Disney destinations. So check it out.
So they won't have to pay for it, nor will they have to plan anything?
Exactly.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better.
Am I allowed to win that?
I'm sorry, you are disqualified.
Oh, darn.
But I know where you can get an excellent travel advisor to plan a Walt Disney World trip if you'd like. www.keytotheworldtravel.com.
Your key to a magical vacation.
There it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Well, thanks for spending some time with us, and we'll see you again next week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. While you're at it, rate and review our show. If you have a friend that you think might enjoy what we have to say, let them know and send them our way. We would love to we're always recruiting new members for the Gold Key Adventurers Society. And I think that's all I've got to say about that for this week. Next week, we're getting extra super spooky for Halloween with deep dive. You just checked the calendar, didn't you?
Busted.
Next week, we're going to take a deep dive into the Haunted Mansion for Halloween. So make sure you don't miss that.
Ooh.
It's going to be a costume party. Come dressed up. I just made that decision.
Yes.
I'll do that.
All you listeners
it.
out there, you have to have a costume on while you listen to the episode. So rate, review, tell your friends, enter the contest, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye,
See you
everybody.
next week for another adventure.
Don't go to Flo's.
To ask a question or share your travel story, you can reach us by smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or send an email to goldkeyadventurers@gmail.com. And make sure you follow the Gold Key Adventure Society on Facebook and Instagram. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Key to the World Travel. For all your travel planning needs, visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a free quote and help planning the trip of a lifetime. Tell them the Gold Key Adventurers sent you. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Thanks to Outer Vibe for the use of their song Hoka Hey for the intro and outro of our show. Find them on Facebook at The Outer Vibe or check out www.outervibe.com for tour dates, music, merch, and more. We'll see you next week for another meeting of the Gold Key Adventure Society. And until then, remember, life is short and the world is wide. So go have an adventure.